Everybody, today we will do another problem, and today we'll be continuing on the vectors, part of calculus 3, right? Or other people call it multivariable calculus. So, and the reason why they call it, I guess they call it multivariable calculus, is because you're dealing with three dimensionals. You're dealing with x, y, and z, and instead of pure two-dimensional xy. So, so today we will study the vector unit. It's called a standard vector. It's called a standard unit vector. That's what it's called. The standard unit vector. For those going through electrical engineering, you need to study this type of concept. So it's very important to understand this. So let's start with one example. Let's say that we have vectors for part A. I don't know if I want to do it here. Part 8 says write the vector v equal 4I minus 5k in component form. Okay, so that's part A. Part B says find the terminal point find the terminal point find the terminal point of vector v again when vector v equal to what? It's equal to 7I minus j plus 3k given the initial point, given the initial given the initial point, given the initial point which is what? Which is the point that they give us is P parenthesis minus 2 comma 3 comma 5. Okay, so on part A is easy. Part A is easy. Give me 1 second. I need to check something in my camera here. So something was going on with my camera. We had to check it out, what is going on. But anyway. So if this video doesn't come up good, I guess I have to do it again. But anyway, let's continue. Okay, so we have, for part A, we have a 4 minus 5k, right? And the standard form got to be in the I, J, K form. That will be the standard form. We're missing something here. It says write it in the component form, right? So basically, write it in a component form. Okay, so we're missing something. To be in this form, we're missing something in the middle. We're missing something here. We have I and K, but we don't have a J. So to make this part A in component form, we have to do the following. We have to write it like this. Part A, right, which is what? Is 4I minus 5K. 5K. So the component form will be the following. Will be simply like this. Will be 4, right? I got my 4 right here. Remember, this 4 is X. And this is C. I am missing Y. I am missing Y, which is I am missing J, basically. So to compensate for that, I have to add something like this. I have to add 0, 0, comma, negative 5. And that will be the component form of it. Component form. Okay, so that's easy, right? Not bad. So we found that out. Find a component form, right? Okay, now for the next part, it's going to be a little tricky. So that's part A. Part B, this is a continuation of the last class. So if you haven't watched my last videos, I said that we were writing vectors and components like Y and Z, right? So basically, over here I got, because I am writing the vector already in the standard form, now it's changing a little bit, but to still have the same three variables, which the standard vector should be I, J, and K, right? This corresponds to that, that corresponds to that, that corresponds to that, right? I don't want to get anybody confused here. I just want to making sure that we understand that we're dealing with three-dimensional type of vectors, right? Okay, so now let's do this. And for this, the book doesn't do a good job at all. So I had to kind of do my own little stuff to kind of make sense out of it, because the book doesn't do any pretty good job on it. What the book does say that to find the terminal point, we have to do it like this: Q, and then we gotta find Q1, a small Q1, comma, a small Q2, comma, and a small Q3. That's what the book tells me to do, but it doesn't really kind of explain how to get it, right? So technically, remember, we have what? We have right here the initial point. We're looking for what? We're looking for the terminal point given the initial point. So what the book says is the following. The book doesn't explain, but this is what they did, okay? So the book says that Q1 minus, and when they did this over here, they just applied in the number like this, minus 2 equal what? Equal my first point, which is 7i, right? And remember, that 7i, I will show you how to do this, but 7i, I will show you how to subtract these numbers from IJK form. I will show you how to do that. But what they did is they put 7 in there. Okay, so, but they did not tell me what is this? What is this operation? They did not say that in the book. So this is what I did, right? So this is what I did. What I did is the following, right? So what I did is the following. I call this this vector right here, I call it V. In this case, right, I will call it VI. Yeah, VI for that, for VI and VJ and VK, just to tell me something that I'm doing something, right? And I call this initial point. And then, so what I did, I wrote a little formula. I said, okay, I said Q1 minus what? Minus initial point minus P initial equal to what? Equal to V initial, right? VI. I'm sorry, for V vector, but VI in this case is V that corresponds to I. And then so forth, right? So in this case, if I do what the book says right here, I still get the same thing, because why all I have to do right here is Q minus, right? So minus 2. The given is minus 2. But I am subtracting that, right? So I am keeping this outside, and I just do 2 with the inside the parenthesis like that with a negative, and I put my 7 with VI that corresponds to this 7. When I do that, I get Q1 plus 2 equal to 7, right? When I subtract that on both sides, and I say that Q1 is equal to 5. I found my first point already, right? Okay, so I am just kind of running through this to see, for you guys to understand, right? But I will show you how to extract those numbers out of this vector. That's what I'm going to do right now. And I will do this again so so we understand what's going on. Okay, so the vector given, vector b is equal to 7i, comma, j, comma, 3. Okay, right? Now, this is how you do it. So here is an I. We have to put it in there. This is, you extract the coefficient of that vector, right? In other words, the magnitude of each component, you extract them out. And what you get is the following. If I pull out 7 out of that, I get what? I get 7. If I pull out in front of that j, what is going on? Well, technically, it's a negative 1 right there. It's a negative 1 in front of that j, right? I don't have to write it, but it is a negative 1. So I put a comma, I put negative 1. Then I go to the 3, right? So this is a plus, okay? I go to the 3. So it's a positive 3k, right? I put a comma on it, and then I put a 3, and that's it. So I extracted the magnitude of each component. Now I have this number, right? Now what I can do at this point is just follow what I did just when I was showing you how I created my little formula to tell me what is going on. Okay, so I need to find Q, the big Q or capital Q, and I need to find Q small 1, comma, Q small 2, Q2, and a small q again, 3. Right? I need to find those points. I need to find this is my final point, right? So final point is that this is final. So final point. Right? This is my vector and this is my initial point, right? Okay, so what I will do is the following. All right, so Q1, Q1 is equal to point P initial minus what? Actually, no. Q1 minus P initial is equal to V final, right? But of course, I'm not going to write just V final. I have to write something to tell me what component I'm dealing with. In this case, I am dealing with VI, right? Okay, so VI in this case, so Q1 minus, and I got it 2, right? At negative 2 minus a minus negative 2 with parentheses like that is equal to the corresponding number of 7. Now Q1 is equal plus 2 is equal to 7. Now if I subtract 2 on both sides, Q1 is equal to what? It's equal to 5. Okay, so we did this before. Let's do it again. We do it again, just making sure that we understand that. Now, let me do J, right? Let me do component J. And the point given was 3, right? So now, okay. So now, let's do this. So now we're doing Q2. So Q2 minus the initial, which is, I know the initial is technically, you know what? You even can put right here, to let you know that you can put I here. to let you know what you're dealing with. All right? So P initial right, minus P initial, and in this case, I'm dealing with what? J equal to what? Is equal to Bj, Bj, right? The vector given in the J component. All right, so now Q2 minus point initial, right? Minus point initial, which is what? Now I got what? I got 3, right? So now it's a positive 3. I don't have to put the parentheses. Is equal to what? Is equal to, in this case, it's a negative 1. So put negative 1 in there. See how important can I say when you extract the numbers? You don't have to deal with this anymore. You know there's a negative 1, right? So now Q2, right? If I add 3 here on both sides, I get that Q2 is equal to what? Q2 is nothing but 2, right? Okay? Now, let's do the last one. So now, let's do with dealing with initial point on the K and also initial point on the K over here, right? Actually, vector, which is the initial point is 5 and the vector is K, right? Okay, so let's do it. So now I have what? I have Q, this is going to be Q3, right? Because I was telling me Q3 equal to initial point initial. I'm dealing with a point here, right? So point is P initial, and I'm dealing with what side, with what component? The K, right? Is equal to V and K, right? Again, the same thing, Q3, right? Minus what? Minus the point of what? 5, right? That's this initial point. So initial point is 5. And then the final, the vector point is, that's final point is what I'm trying to get. So the vector given was 3, right? So that's 3. Now, when I do this, I get that Q3 minus 5 is equal to 3. Add 5 on both sides. And I got that Q3 is equal to 5. Okay, so they asking me to do it this way, right? The final point is equal to that, right? Okay, so all I gotta do in this case is put it exactly like that, right? And actually, no, this is, no, this is 8. I don't know why I got 5 in it. It's 8, right? So here, so Q BQ, right, is going to be equal to what? It's going to be equal to 2, comma, 5, let's see, that's Q2. This is this is Q1, which is 5, and Q2 is 2, and Q3 is 8. And that would be the final answer, right? That would be the final answer for that. So the final point The final point is Q of Q, right? The final point is Q parenthesis 5 comma 2 8. In other words, I, J, K, right? This is still the same form, I, J, K, right? So that's it, guys. That's it, the lesson for today. And if you like the video, just give me a like, subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching.